Okay, in this video we're going to go ahead and put the platform on the car and also put it at a slight angle here. One of the first things I'm going to do is actually go to Camera, and on the camera I'm going to select something called Parallel Projection. So I'm going to go from Perspective to Parallel Projection. Now you'll really see what this means when I click on Top View from my View menu. So I'm going to click on Top View. And everything's practically flat and two-dimensional. So I'm going to hit my space bar for the arrow tool to come up, click once on my solar panel, and hit M for move. And I'm going to click, and I'm just going to kind of drag this panel. Don't worry about it not being exactly in the center. I'm going to go ahead and click here for now. Let me use my hand tool. Let me zoom in so you can really see what's happening. And once again, the nice thing about having grouped this solar panel is that or solar panel platform, whenever I click on it, the entire thing moves. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead once again. I'm kind of at an advantage here because I can actually see my straws coming through, so I can get a pretty good idea as to where it needs to go. I think I'm going to put it just right about here. You can see I'm kind of having it right centered where these two front wheels are. I'm going to go ahead now and change over to front view. So from top view to front view. I'm going to go ahead and click on this object again with the move tool, and you'll notice I'll see a blue line appear. And that blue line is an indication I'm moving perfectly vertical. I'm going to place it right here for right now. Okay, so now we're going to actually go ahead and use the rotate tool. Rotate is actually, shortcut key is Q for rotate, which will also bring up this object, or this tool right here. So I'm going to hit Q for rotate. And what you find with the rotate is a big protractor. Now as long as I find midpoint, that's fine. I can either find the midpoint here or the midpoint here. I'm going to go ahead and click here once. So you first tell it where you're going to be rotating from. Then you need to define what I call 0. So if you look in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, it says angle. When I click a second time here, I'll click here. We can click anywhere, but I'll click here. You'll notice that as I move my mouse to the right, that angle starts to change. Now for my design, I'm going to type in an angle of 10 degrees. So I'm going to type in 10 and hit enter. I'm going to hit M for move again. I'm going to click on this object and I'm just going to bring it down. Just going to keep an eye on it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and click again. Okay, now this time I'm going to kind of rotate it, and I cannot see any straws coming through, which is actually a good sign. So it looks nice and clean, and it looks like the straws even kind of going through the base, which is kind of gives it that effect that the straws are were cut at an angle. Now I'm kind of getting this weird perspective because I'm in parallel projection. So let me go ahead and change it back to back to perspective. So let me go to camera. Let me click on perspective. There we go. Alright, everything looks good. Looks nice and centered. Let me save my work. Okay, and the last thing I'll do is I'll just add some color to this. Now, one thing you can do if you want to turn the entire an entire object that's been grouped a color, the beauty is if it's grouped, you just click on it. Click on my paint bucket, and let me go to my colors. And this was a pink cafeteria tray, so I'll look at something that resembles pink. That's close enough, kind of a reddish color. If I just click on it once, the whole thing turns because it's all grouped. Okay, and that applies for pretty much any object that's grouped. Same with the straws, same with your washers, your wheels, gears, breadboard. As long as they're grouped, the whole object changes when you use the paint bucket. That's pretty much it. I'm done. Let me go ahead and save my work. And as always, try to keep your drawing in a perspective of isometric before you turn it into your teacher. It's always nice to kind of click on ISO. Okay, give your teacher a nice perspective. Make sure it takes up most of the screen. And you are done.